You see, the something we want is a more just society.
That's right.
But it requires a strategy that's comprehensive.
Yes, sir.
And the Koch brothers stole our strategy. Dr. King gave it to us, I think it was 1961, when he came before the union movement, and he did a sermon called Negro Wins, Labor Wins. If labor wins, then Negro wins. And he talked about pulling together the two greatest movements, civil rights and labor, into one, and funding it and organizing it and building a movement. And we never really took Dr. King up. We tried a little bit with the March on Washington, but we really didn't ever take it up. Because he called for labor to develop a $10 million fund that would provide for infrastructure, working with his membership, and then all other organizations, black organizations, and, well, other organizations, ended up, he put some money in the fund too. And he told us to have state-based movements. It wasn't about going to D.C., it was about building up each state, because movements don't start from D.C. down, they start from Selma up, from Pittsburgh up, from Greensboro up. The Koch brothers in 1972, 4 years after Dr. King was dead, took our idea. And it's bad when you don't listen to your own prophet, but your adversary does. There's an article in Time magazine a few weeks ago where Charles Koch did a speech in 1972. And he said when they looked at the landscape of, I'm paraphrasing, of American politics, they decided not to invest anymore in Messiah candidates or Messiah individuals, but to invest in movement building. So they took all their money and put it in think tanks, organizers, social media, to develop a context. While most progressives, we started being campaign to campaign. We invest in Messiah campaign. And then when the campaign is over, all the infrastructure leaves. And all of us have been guilty of it, NAACP and unions and other groups as well. And the problem with that is it makes you seasonal. Yes. Rather than having the ability to cry loud and spare not consistently. And so it gives your adversary every 4 years, 3 years to whoop you, because you go home after the election. Especially if your candidate wins, and sometimes loses, and sometimes even if that candidate wins, because we have taught people that the election is everything, and it is not. There must be a movement in this country that does not measure its success purely by what election turnout, but understands if you have a movement that can shift the center of political gravity, it is possible to cause people who have been elected to do one thing not to be able to do it, because the consciousness of the community is so changed. I.e., Lyndon Baines Johnson, a Democrat, gets elected as a segregationist. I.e., Dr. King and others build a movement. I.e., Lyndon Baines Johnson does what he never thought he would do once he got elected.